let's talk about like the fact that you apparently you got a doctorate in physical therapy.
Yes.
What the
Dude,
why
the fuck did I even do that?
Why did you do that?
I think at the time I wanted to, after college, I was looking for a career that I was like, I can have decent hours. I want to be a pediatric physical therapist, work in a school, which I wound up doing. I was like, I can get summers off, I'll get good health insurance, this and that. And then I went through school, became a therapist. And then I simultaneously started comedy while I was doing physical therapy. My third year of physical therapy school, I got into comedy. And then I was doing them both, burning the candle at both ends, pediatric physical therapist, comedy at night. And then it got to the point where was getting comedy. I was doing so much comedy. I was on a show on MTV called Guy Code.
Yeah.
And then I was missing so much work as a physical therapist to go.
You're like, fuck these kids.
Fuck these kids. I was tipping over their wheelchairs.
Yeah, fuck these kids.
Fuck them. And so actually the principal of the school that I was a physical therapist at, because, mostly mentally and physically handicapped kids, she was like, listen, some of the parents, know that you're on this show, Guy Code, and they don't have a problem with it. But the principal's like, I have a problem with it because I watched an episode, and the episode I watched was you for 5 minutes talking about the Guy Code to hiding your boner. So I was like, you can't treat children and also be talking about hiding your boner.
Fuck.
And I was like, oh,
that
shit.
Conversation really happened, huh?
Swear to God. And she was like, so you're going to have to choose. And she was like, you'd be an idiot if you chose comedy. I swear to God.
That would have fired me up.
She was like, you'd be an idiot. And she was like, because, you have a great salary here. You're making $55,000 a year. You have full health benefits. And she was like, you've pursued this stuff. You should not leave. And I was like, okay. I was like, I really feel like I should leave though. And she was like, you'll regret this forever. You're going to regret this forever. And I was like, okay. So I called my dad and I was like, hey dad, I just quit my physical therapy job to do comedy. He was like, that's fucking right. And he was like, but we can't tell your mother. And I was like, yeah, I know, because my mom would like lose her shit. He goes, listen, don't tell your mom anything. This was March. School doesn't end till June. She was like, we're not going to tell your mother anything for 3 months. Nothing for 3 months. Don't say a word, nothing. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, until you get on your feet financially, because, I wasn't making any, you don't make much money at all in the beginning of comedy. He was like, you can live here with me in my basement. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was kind of, going to work every day, but I was really just going to coffee shops and writing, doing open mics, whatever. And then about 2 weeks into that, MTV called my manager at the time. I was like, hey, we heard Chris quit his job. He's been on Guy Code. We want to get him involved in our other projects here, on camera, off camera. What we'll do is we'll give him a salary to stay. He can only work for MTV. Can't do anything for VH1. He can't do anything for Comedy Central. Only MTV for the next 3 years. We're going to give him a salary. And I told you, he was making $55,000 a year as a physical therapist.
Yeah.
So they were like, we'll give him $150,000 a year.
Oh, baby.
So they fucking tripled it. And
Fuck that bitch, dude.
And I was like, holy in 2 weeks, you gave me exactly what I wanted, tripled my salary. And I was like, and then I haven't looked back since then. And it was kind of one of those moments for me where I was like, it was a risk, but I was like, my father had good advice. He was like, you'd rather do this now when you're younger because you don't want to have any regrets on your deathbed. He was like, if you already they can't take your doctorate away from you. He's like, or you got your physical therapy license, you'll find another job. Yeah. So he's like, but if you don't do this now, you're going to regret it forever and you're not going to want to live like that. He's like, so just fucking take a chance. And then I did. And now
that's fucking.
Yeah.
Did you ever talk to that lady again? It's like, fuck
you. No, you know what? I never saw her ever again. I saw some of the therapists that I worked with, that they came to shows years ago. They came to shows and they're like, yeah, that principal fucking hates you.
For sure.
He hates me. And then, but full disclosure, you want to hear something fun? You want to hear something fucking really fun that I've never said publicly?
I'd love to.
I had sex with her daughter.
Yo!
Yes!
That's fucking awesome.
Yes.
Fuck that.
Fucking sex with her daughter.
Yo. Yes. You're dead serious.
I swear to God, dude, I had sex with her daughter like 2 months later. Boom!
Oh my God. And you had the...
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Did you take any extra money?
No, dude. And it was funny, dude, because her daughter, she was, she's cute and, and I was just like, oh, I left, she's like, I know, my mom talks about, what a dumb guy you are all the time. And I was like, yeah, suck it. Yeah.
Bro, oh, God. It's not just a joke, though, right?
No.
God,
dude.
it makes it
Fucking
so much better.
Protect your daughter.
Fuck, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Win.
That's a huge W.
Winning.
Damn, bro. I know that's got to feel good.
Yeah. But, you know, I did cheat on my current girlfriend at the time, so I lost that relationship. But what can you do? And I got chlamydia.
Nice.
So it all balances out. Hashtag balance.
That's good. No, that's really good.
Yes,
I mean, you're learning lessons and, you know,
The
that's
yin and the
part of it.
yang. Team China.
That's yeah. Team China. What do you enjoy doing the most now? Just making podcasts or doing obviously comedy?
Stand up. I do podcasting. I got to be honest. Podcasting became, when I first started doing podcasting, it became a thing that I was just doing it. Like, I loved it. The art form being free. I'm like, oh man, I can be funny and the audience isn't there. There's like less pressure, blah, blah. But then like anything else, then the money becomes involved, the ads, this. And I was using it as a place to sell tickets, which is the only thing I care about are my tickets sold. For me, that's my barometer of success. That's what I want. I want to go to a venue and the place is sold out and we have a good time. And so I was doing that, but then, then podcasting became so oversaturated. Then it started to become like, you got 2 podcasts, then you got 3 podcasts, and then there's hours of, you're talking for hours a week, and then I got to do my stand-up at night, and it's like, some of the material that I would have formulated as a joke, I said half-baked on a podcast, and I can't say something on a podcast and then do it on stage because the fans are like, hey, I heard you say that already. So now I'm at a point where I'm like, do I like podcasting? I know I love stand-up. I know that I want to do stand-up. But I always have. It's been what I've been doing for 15 years. But with podcasting, sometimes I'm like, am I at a point now where I'm just doing it for the money and I'm just doing it to sell tickets? Am I motivated? Do I really want to do this? Do I really want to talk hours a week about shit I kind of don't care about? Or do I want to just write my material and showcase my material each night in the way that I want to present it in 15-minute or hour increments? And then, when the money will come from that. That's how I'll feed my family. But I'm in a tough spot right now because I've got my family used to a certain way of life. People listen to my show. That's where I do sell the tickets off. Yeah. But, it's one of those things where it's like with podcasting, as you know, it's like you got to create the content, create the formulated. I mean, we have great people who edit and all that stuff, and they do things I can't do. But it's like, come up with the stuff. It's mentally exhausting. And for me as a stand-up, it's like, a lot of times I'll say something like, we'll be having a conversation. I'll say something that is funny or I think is funny and it's already out there. And I'm like, I could have fucking did that on stage. Yeah. I could have did that on stage. And so I'm in that thing where, for me, if you asked me, like, if you were like what I would love to do, I really love to just be on the radio in New York where it's like, I'm just home every day. There's all these producers and people, they show up. They create the content. They create the fucking what questions we're going to ask and what games we're going to play. And I can just be funny and free in the moment and do my stand-up at night or do a TV show, even though I know it's not the same money or people don't watch it as much anymore. I would rather just do that and be home in New York and not, have to kind of think about when I'm out here in LA, it's like finding guests, being on show, doing this. It's like, really, I just want to do my stand-up. I really just want to go do the shows.